Hey everybody, it's Paul Grossman, the dark arts AI-driven test automation wizard of the internet. And we're going to continue on with a session that we were doing just recently. But before I get started, I wanted to point out a couple of things that kind of help. I think having little tips and tricks about different things at the beginning of these videos are cool. So if you just hold on, I will show a few things. We're going to go and add my screen over here, pop me down there. And one thing to keep in mind, in about an hour from now, I will be talking to Welmer, who is going to do the Candy Mapper Challenge with Cypress. Now, if you are not sure what the Candy Mapper Challenge is, I will just go and show you very quickly what you'll see in about an hour. You go to Candy Mapper. And over here, I definitely want to go and clear the cookies over here. Well, and you basically get a pop-up. So the pop-up kind of explains what's going to go on. And very quickly, the challenge is to go and close the pop-up either by clicking the X over here or click on Find My Candy. Either one will do. And then scrolling down, this is very not very difficult at all. I'll put in my name and I'll click on submit. And I want to verify that we need to have a valid email over here. I forgot to put that in. So I'll put in me@me.com and then click submit. Doesn't need anything else. And then we'll get a page that says, we will get back to you within 48 years, which is the update of the context page. That's it. 8 simple steps any automation tool should be able to do, and we're going to be showing that live with Wilmar over here. Takes the Candy Mapper Challenge. That's at 4 o'clock. That's about an hour and 10 minutes from now. So in my next hour, what I'm going to do is try to complete a few things, working on a POMless automation framework in PlayWright, which is really kind of cool, especially if you have the AI stuff kicked in there. But before I jump into that, one other thing is I came across this. Sorry, let's try this again. And I've got music over here you probably don't hear. So I'm going to go hit the pause over here. Something I came across. I used to work for an airline. I used to work for an airline. And by the way, we are going to do some automation stuff, but I wanted to start off with a little tip. I got 3 people watching. What are you guys doing watching me on a weekend? Come on. All right. Shout out to my 2 watchers who are on YouTube and one to my guy on Twitch, the YouTube people. By the way, I used to work for an airline. Just want to let you know. This little information over here is actually very accurate stuff that I share with other people. Says at the airport, water fountains are secure, are after security are free. I don't actually, yeah, that's true. Don't buy the $5 ones. You don't have to spend that kind of money. Second thing, let's see, early morning flights are least likely to be delayed. There's an additional thing I can tell you about early morning flights, which is that the statistics are really high that they will forget to set their alarm clock and sleep through it, miss their flight. So if you're ever looking to almost guarantee that you're going to get on a flight, let's say on a standby, put yourself on the standby the early morning, set your alarm, and go snag the seat of the person who forgot to do it. Airline food is 3 times the markup. Same McDonald's costs triple. Absolutely. Airline food is really expensive, but it does also say under here, let's see, airline clubs let you in for $50 to $75 a day, worth it for long layovers. One thing to also keep in mind, while it is could be considered a little pricey to get in there, they have almost always, at least the United clubs in Chicago that I know of, they have buffets. So you pay the $50, you get free food, you get free drinks for as long as you're there. You can load up on it. So you don't have to, pay for the food and drinks like on the airline flight if it's not included. You don't have to pay for it outside. So consider that a little thing, and they'll actually do other stuff for you. I will tell you one thing I did. I actually left my luggage at the check-in at the wrong spot. Somehow I did that a couple years ago, and the people at the front desk said, "Don't worry, you don't have to run back out past security. We'll go get it for you." And they brought it back up. So I gotta give a shout out to people who are actually in there. What else we got? Gate agents have upgrade authority. Be nice, dress well, ask politely. I'm going to tell you that is absolutely true. And in fact, one of the comments on this thing here, someone said they were actually dressed up in business attire, and they have gotten business class upgrades over there. One true story. I'll tell you, I knew somebody who was absolutely chewing out a gate agent, a poor gate agent, and because they needed to get to their father's funeral the next day, and their flight, they had missed it, or they couldn't get to it, or it was overbooked, whatever it was, they were having a bad time. And I told them, look, uh, we understand you're having a problem. I used to work for an airline. I did not work for that airline at the time. And I said, here's what I learned from working for, and it was ValueJet, by the way, back in college. It was quite a while. They're not around anymore. But I did tell them, I said, look, this lady, she's the only person who's really going to help you. I'm going to give you the good advice, and we're going to try and make things nice for you. So just please understand. We understand you're going through stuff. And I told him, I said, what you're going to do is you're going to book yourself a hotel, maybe here near the airport. You're going to have to sleep overnight. She said she couldn't get him on a flight that night. Said, ask her to put you on a flight early in the morning, the very first flight, just like we had over here, early morning flights, least likely to be delayed, and have her put you on standby, see which one is best. You might have to route through one connection, but you can definitely probably get down there, and just apologize and just be nice, and that will get you a whole lot better stuff, because gate agents, I guarantee you, and I worked as a phone agent, get a lot of flack from people who are just absolutely having a problem of a day. Don't do that. Be very nice to the people. You'll find things are much more better. Anything else over here? Oh yes, by the way, if you let's say it says TSA pre-check pays for itself in 2 trips, $78 for 5 years. Yeah, that's true. I also have gotten the other one to Clear, to go through that. Clear was actually pretty cool. Once I actually got the Clear stuff taken care of, I would say actually getting Clear done took a little while. But there's something else I want to tell you about for travel, is that if you go if with the gate agents having the authority to do upgrades and everything, if you happen to go, let's say, well, you could do the opposite. One other thing, book yourself on the most expensive flight, on an expensive flight, the most likely to cancel, and prepare to take a later flight. And then take a flight and get on the they if it's most likely, you can see this on the airline stuff, what are the chances it's going to be overbooked, and take the walk-off fare for leaving the plane. I've done that myself a couple of times intentionally, just to make a little bit more money on it. And what was the last thing I wanted to mention? Oh, that's right. Another way to save money if you're traveling, and we'll get to the automation right after this. The best way to save money when you're traveling is this: go to book your flights at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. You're like, Paulie, why do that? It's because the airlines, you may have heard, the airlines have 3 different fares, and this pretty much works if you're booking early on. Let's say you're going to, it's like, hey, I'm going to go see Mardi Gras. Well, those flights sell out early. And just to let you know, there are 3 different fares that are sold in the industry. It's a walk-up fare, most expensive, 7-day advance discount, which is next least expensive, and a 14-day advance ticket. The thing is, all flights, they're all divided up. It's not by day, it's by how many seats are available. And what travel agents have the ability to do is they can reserve those seats, so they might take up the 14-day advance fare. Now the thing is, those holds, they expire just a little bit after midnight. So what you can do is you could find a chance that if the price is is pricey to go to Mardi Gras, to New Orleans, you could try to make the reservation at 1 o'clock in the morning, when the holds for the travel agents expire, and then all these seats become available again. So a ticket at 2 o'clock in the afternoon could be cheaper at 2 o'clock in the morning. Set your alarm, as long as you're 21 days in advance of the flight. After 21 days, of course, both those seats become 7-day advance fares. And within 7 days, it becomes, if it's 6 days, it becomes, all of them are walk-up fares. So just a little tip for me about the traveling with the travel agency that I had for a while for working in the airlines. And so with that said, the last time I was here, I was asking the AI a little bit about what is the Loch Ness monster really. I'll just let you know, if you want to watch the previous video, it's an elephant. It's not a seal, it's not an eel, it's not some sort of river junk. It could be an upside down floating table, floating table leg, but it's unlikely it's that. But that original one, that was almost 90 years ago, it was an elephant. And the reason we know is because a circus, traveling circus in Loch Ness, actually went and did a promotion for anyone who could capture the elephant, and I'm sorry, capture the Loch Ness monster, and they actually built a cage for it. And people came to see the circus like crazy. And yeah, it was one of their elephants that was swimming in the water there. Elephants are big, they are buoyant, they have big lungs, lots of air. They are not as heavy as you would think going in the water. And being part of a circus, yes, they definitely would be moseying around Scotland at the time, almost 90 years ago. It's absolutely not inconceivable. The only reason I ever bring that up is because lots of us want to believe that there's a dinosaur looking for a mate out there. It's like, okay, yeah, no. And we really don't want to believe something that's more likely. However, they have Occam's razor. The most likely explanation is the right one. All right, so we're going to get on to the automation. I don't have much to do with AutoIt today, but we're going to go take a look at what we were doing yesterday, which was we're looking to do what we call POMless automation, no page object model. And the way you can do that is by having a function called click, and all you do is put in the string. Now, this is about 99% accurate. 99% of the time, it will work correctly. And even if the developers change the property behind it, they will actually go and find it. And so in this case, I looked for just a search button, which was on the screen over here. And then I clicked a change button. The second thing I did at the end of that video was I said, oh, let's have the click method. And we use the AI to do this, is go add me something that says click on something near something else. Both of these, no the page object model, it's just saying, look for the change button that's near the customer rating. And if you see over here, this is the change button. It's near customer rating. It is the third element on the screen. The first one is this change over here, and that's the general information. This is a second change. This is a third change. And in fact, we added a little bit more in there that says, hey, just check to see if that thing is visible. If it's not, skip it and go to the next one. So it actually did it. It went here to the rating and all this stuff. But one of the things I also noted is that this interface, I'm going to go back over here, also has checkboxes. And we were able to highlight all these elements over here, but not get the checkboxes. So today, we're going to go get those checkboxes before I go on to that demo. I'm going to be keeping an eyeball on the time over here so that I am not late for that. I'd like to be early, and hopefully everything works. All right, here we go. So again, I'm going to vibe code this. So what I want to do is, first of all, I'm going to stop this over here. And there it goes. It all goes away. If you're curious about my background over here, this is screen resolution. I've got a nice wide screen resolution, and I check to see if the elements actually come together at different resolutions. Unlikely anyone actually still owns an 800 by 480 screen, but I've got it up there. I've got 800 by 600, and then wider and bigger screens, so I can say, hey, when you bring this down a little bit, something goes a little sideways over here. All right, here we go. We're going to go into our element over here. Let's see. We got the whole thing to work. So what I'm going to do is say, well, first of all, we're going to run this just to see what it looks like. I'm going to go, that's really not what I want. I want this over here. I'm going to go and do a debug run. What this will show us is that we have the browser is going to get popped. There's my custom console logger. All right. And then it's going to use it's going to use custom, not relative, dynamic element location. I'm going to go over here into my login. I'll go to the definition, and it will, this is the way I go and identify this element, is with this fill input over here, and just said, hey, go find something that's got user, and go find something that's got password, and go enter that value. Hit the run, and guess what? It puts in the username and the password. And then the third thing is no page object model here. Go click the login button. No page, no page object model. So I'm only laughing because I've done this for about 12 years. I did it in UFT, QTP. And in case you don't understand how much of a non impressive that is, just a reminder, UFT QTP was in Visual Basic. Nobody runs around saying, I'm a developer and I work in Basic. Nobody gives you any credit for that. You don't work in C, C Sharp, or Ruby, or anything like that? No, I worked in Basic. But all the concepts and everything, I put them into a book called WebDriver IO, and there is my book. It's also written with the help of Larry Goddard, who is out in London, and I give a shout out to him. And this is here. We're doing a fill input by just saying, here, we're looking for TMN, SEQ, and MYR. That's a terminal, a sequence, and a month and year. And those will go into this, and this. It's identifying these elements by what's inside each one of them, uniquely finds it. Let's set that to run. It goes and does it. And then I have a little bit of code in here that is identifying all my elements on the screen, the input elements specifically. The thing it is not hitting is the checkboxes. So I definitely want to hit those checkboxes, and they're highlighting over here. I kind of looked at that's just part of a demo. In the end, it will not be part of every test that runs, because clearly it slows everything down. So the next thing is I'm going to go click on search. There's only one search button there. We're going to let that run. And it says, hey, I found the search button. I'm going to go click it. And then it waits for the page to update. And the next thing is I'm doing the click to change near the customer rating. There's change near customer rating. So it's not going to be fooled by any of this. It's going to pop up a page. And there's the button, and it hits the change ratio customer find, which is all cool. And the last thing I'm doing, just part of this test, is to make sure I see customer rating, change customer rating on here. Then, and the page should contain this after a search. I like a custom soft assert. Soft assert means that you are doing an assertion that is going to continue on, even though if it fails. So if I want to validate all of these elements over here, and the first one says, no, the first one is supposed to be RPC, it's not flat, then it won't test the other ones if it is a hard assert. Hard asserts are almost always default in frameworks, and I'm not a fan of that, because being a tester, I want to see as many failures as I possibly can, rather than, oh, the first one's wrong, and then you run the test again, and you think you fix it. Oh, the second one's wrong. Oh, run it a third time, and a fourth time, and a fifth time, and a sixth time. No, just give me all of it all at one time. All right, so we've done this, but next thing we want to do is we want to go and have the automation over here tell it, hey, dude, I want you to find the element based on, I need you to highlight the checkboxes as well. So that's what I'm going to do. Say in the code, please also identify all the check boxes, and we'll do that and spell checkboxes correctly. I don't really need to, because the AI is pretty good at doing consistent interpreting words from context. So it would sit there and go, hey, I know what you meant. You meant checkboxes. And in fact, not checkboxes. I spelled it like the country, Czechoslovakia, instead of CHCK. That's okay. it's saying, hey, do you want to update this? And I'll say yes. And do you want me to ask you every single time before that? And I'll say, you don't have to ask me every time. We are all good. So here it is, adding in the selectors into that. And it's saying, hey, I'm looking for a count of radio checkboxes, radio buttons, button counts, input counts. So it's got all that. Really should have count text elements as well. One of the things I pointed out last time was that when you get all the selectors, you don't want to have every single one of these. Like this has got an input, and it's adding an input type of checkbox, type of radio. It's got to get a roll of button, but you don't need like H1, H2, H3, H4. You don't want to be doing that. All right, so we've got that implemented in there. I think the AI has decided it is done doing all the stuff. And what's it doing over here? Let me update the Optimus Prime version. Oh, yes. There is a version that we put at the very end of Optimus Prime that says, hey, this is the version. There is another issue that's been going on recently where my Visual Studio Code basically will just keep the code in a status in a let's see what we're going to call it. I guess just in a holding space. It basically doesn't run the latest version of the code. Is really want to say there. I gotta give a shout out to whoever's watching me on Facebook. One thing to let you know, you can interact with me. If you see a chat box over there, please, by all means, you can chat with me. I'll see it, especially when it's on Facebook. It's pretty easy. So put a chat out there. If you're asking any questions, I'm more than happy to answer anything that I'm doing. If you have a challenge for me, which is, by the way, in about an hour, we're going to be doing the Candy Mapper Challenge. I take a look at this video at the very beginning. I explained it. And there's some tips and tricks on airline travel as well at the very beginning. If you happen to catch that, I'll be doing that in an hour with automating the Candy Mapper Challenge website with using Cypress. So if you're interested in Cypress and you're not a fan of WebDriver IO, you can do this. The point I was trying to make when I was showing my book was that when I've been doing a test automation architect. I've been at one for 26 years going on now. Started in right around 2001, right around in September of 2001. And just about a year or two ago, I wrote a book. Now you could say, hey, Paulie, I'm gonna wait for that book that comes out with Cypress and Selenium and all that stuff, or you can go and take this and use the AI to update it. You can use all my tips and tricks and do them all up there. All right, so I've lost my viewers except for one who's watching on Twitch. I know who that is. I think it's a little bit of a bot. If you're not a bot, okay, but there's always one person from Twitch watching me out there. You can watch me from Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitch. So keep an eyeball on it, and you can chat with me. Apparently, they didn't want to chat with me. Oh, somebody's back. All right. Looks like I have a viewer from YouTube. Hey, you from YouTube. In case you had switched accounts or anything, you can chat with me. Oh, you ran away. So it's like, I just saw this guy talking over here. All right. So anyway, to get back to this, it says the element discovery now includes checkboxes, radio boxes, a button count, and all this stuff. And let's go see if this actually will highlight. So I'm going to go stop this over here. I'll bring it back to the left-hand side. And I'll go over here, and we're going to go do that debug one more time. I'll let it debug. And here it goes. So like I said, first thing is it pops up. I'm not crazy about these things popping up. I mean, the console logger is nice, but they stay up and then they get moved to the center. I don't want to do that. I'm going to let this run. As I said, it's POMless automation, so there is no page object, no XPath, no CSS. That's hard-coded. It is all dynamically found. And we are going to go and run our elements, and it will populate that. I can leave those there. So now it populates all these things, and it starts going. These should get the radio, the checkboxes, and if not, I'm going to be mad. Now look, it got the buttons. We saw that, and we know that it's getting all the headers off of this, but it did not get the checkboxes. So we're going to have to take a look at that and see why it's not getting the checkboxes. It does give us the display. It says radio buttons and check. There's 11 checkboxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I believe that count is fairly correct. But no radio buttons. Do I see any radio buttons? I do not see any radio buttons over here. And the radio buttons might be on that search. So I'm going to let that go on ahead, click on the search, and it comes back to the search. Do I have checkboxes over here? I don't see any of them. But the major thing I'm concerned about is that I don't see the I don't see the other item. I need it to get to, okay, let's see, there are checkboxes. So I'm going to ask it, please, I'm going to put in stop point over here. And I'm going to let it run one more time because I need to get the information that's on the screen in order to pick it up. So let's go do that. We are going to go back over to our element over here, and we're going to go give it a debug run. And we're going to stop before we do that. Click. In fact, I think I'm going to stop before I do all the code. The code is temporarily housed inside of the test case. This is my sample code over here. Let me take a look. I got another viewer out there. Just want to give you a shout out over there. Where are we viewing from? We are viewing from, looks like we're viewing from Facebook. Okay, well, if you just joined up, just letting you know, if you want to ask questions, yes, there should be a point that I can ask questions over here. If you're having a problem with it, you can see me also on LinkedIn. You can see me on Twitch at the same time. And since you're on Facebook, you can also catch me on Twitch, LinkedIn, and YouTube. All right. So anyway, we're going to go do this. I really should have someone test that. I'm a tester. I should test to see if it can actually see it. All right. So I'm going to let this chug away. And we'll take out the login. All of this is done. No page object model, no nothing there. All right, so now this is going through and doing the all the fun stuff over here. And I'm going to go back to where we were, to our test. And we're going to hit a stop point over there. That counted up a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see, how many did it count? And I'm really curious as to, there's our output. It says there are 11 checkboxes. There are 11 checkboxes detected, but none of them highlight. Please fix. All right, so we're going to do that. We are doing our coding. So it's interesting now that we've got Vide coding. I know a lot of people don't like it and they're not crazy about it, but I do like the way it describes everything. Also, I do like using Vide coding to do my documentation. So once something is done, it'll actually summarize everything and go and pick up the items. So add the descriptions of exactly what was put into a README. Excuse me. Just wondering if anybody actually reads READMEs anymore. Okay, so we are going to, let's see what it says over here. The issues of checkboxes are being counted that only runs when the location is set and inside the if locator suggestion black. Let me check the logic. Highlighting should be happening since checkboxes do get, and if looking more closely, I see the problem. Console log for the elements is inside and if this. Dude, I don't care about, we're not doing console logging. We're talking about highlighting black, but the checkboxes often have no text or name or ID in them. They have just a type checkbox. Let me trace through the code and fix the highlighting. That's true. I mean, that's absolutely true, because that's what we're going to be doing to find these elements. Let's say I want to find unassigned, or invoice not settled, or something like that, or bling. I like that. Let's see if we can check mark the bling. All right, so it's gone through and did a bunch of testing and says, okay, I made the changes. You can go and try and run it again. So I'm going to go and try and run it one more time. We'll put that in debug mode over there. Hey, I got somebody else watching me. I got someone watching from Facebook. And a reminder, you can actually ask me questions about what's going on. You can, if you find Facebook, and I will go and pop your questions up there and answer them if you're interested on anything that I'm showing here. I'm doing POMless test automation here, in case you hadn't noticed. And what I'm essentially doing is I'm identifying elements without a CSS or an XPath. Just kind of cool, building that into my framework. And I just found these elements. Now I'm highlighting, and oh, look, it's kind of cool. It's highlighting the checkboxes in green. Oh, that is freaking amazing. All right. It was not finding those checkboxes before. So it actually separates these guys. So we've got that. So that's cool. We can now find these checkboxes, which is now working. And the next thing I want to do is I want to go and click on one of these before I move on. So there's my search button. Basically no page object model there. It's clicking on this search button. Before I do that, I want to click on one of these items over here. So I'm going to do this, and we're going to see if we can click on BLNG. BLNG. Let's go and try and hit this bling item. And by the way, the checkbox to the right of it, it seems weird, but hey, what you going to do? I think the colon actually makes it pretty good. All right, so we're going to bling CD. No, it's trying to guess what I wanted to do. I'm going to go and reformat the document so everything actually lines up correctly. And we're going to try and see if we can hit this. I can't highlight it because it doesn't exist at the moment. We'll close this out. And I got one extra person who is sitting there just, still watching this. I'm glad you find it entertaining. I could put on some music if you like. I've got all sorts of different types of music. The only thing I don't have with the music is I'm not exact. Oh, I can adjust the background music. So I'm going to go and let's see. I'll turn something up. I'm going to bring the music down a little bit. There we go. All right. Lo-fi? No, not really a fan of that. Night driving. Okay, I can hear that. I think that's pretty good. You can let me know, by the way, if this is annoying you, or you want to change it or turn it off. Let me know. All right, so I've turned this off. I'm now going to go to try and click that checkbox. So we're going to go and see if it's in the code, and if it's not, we're going to add it to the code. All right. Hey, thanks a lot for sticking with me on Facebook, whoever you are. If you're looking for me, I'm actually multi-streaming. I'm streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you have a preferred place to go, if you don't see a sign that says it's chatting about what's going on, you can find a different way of finding me. All right, so I've got this break over here. I don't need to have that broken. Again, it is just finding it by the words user and password. There is no hard-coded page object model inside of this. Same over here. It is highlighting everything over here, and we're going to hopefully see if we can hit the bling. That's our goal. We're just basically highlighting everything that I find on the screen. That's just for a demo, just to say, hey, I found it, or I'm not finding it, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to go and see if we can find it. I'm going to go hit my element over here. Could not find a clickable element for bling. Okay, so one of the things I do in my output is I tell it, hey, where does this come from? Could not find clickable element. I'm going to go and put this into my search over here. We'll do that. You should be able to find one result in the file. Guess that was it. Is that it? I think I don't know about that. There we go. This is the code over here that we're using. And we're going to have the AI tell it, hey, can you go make sure that we're actually looking for buttons. Please check if the checkbox code is also in the click method. I'll say it gave me this message. That quote back and pop in there for bling or BLNG. Okay, let's do that. Hit the punch, see if we can pick up on it. So we're doing all of this. Again, you can chat with me at any time if you want to do this. If I am boring you at any moment, let me know, Paulie. I'm about to just keep on scrolling because I don't know exactly what you're doing, or if you do know what I'm doing, and cool, because that's I like people. I like people learning or asking questions. Best advice I can give you is if you don't ask questions, then the answer is always no. So don't be afraid to ask a question. You could always ask for a friend. I'm asking for my friend. I already know the answer, but my friend does not. There's no shame in that. Learning is always a good thing. And by the way, I have been speaking at conferences for quite a while. So let's see. It's just done. I think it's just finished up there. So I'm going to hit stop. And we're going to see now this should hit. So we're going to go, and it says it can do it now. So we're going to go hit the debug over here and see if it hits it. I got 2 people watching me. Cool. Well, technically there's a third one, but everybody's quiet. You don't have to be quiet. I'm really a friendly guy. I do not bite. I do have a weird sense of humor that I try and keep under wraps. But looks like I had 1 person watching from YouTube, and my friend from Facebook is still watching. So thank you so much. All right, here it goes. We're going to end up at a breakpoint. And there's a couple other things we do need to fix on this. All right, so it found this. So it's going to attempt to click that bling. Let's see if it does it. Tell me it hits the radio button bling. It did nothing. Okay. Oh, yeah, it did nothing. How it could not find clickable element bling. All right. I'm going to go back to the code. Let's see over here. Click still gave this error. So it might be giving it because the code is all sitting in it's sitting in memory and not actually running. So one thing I might want to do is I might just restart that Visual Studio Code and see if that's the issue. One of the things I did to try and have that work, let's see. The issues in a click method finds 0 elements even after adding checkbox support inside an iframe. Okay. The likely means check was inside an iframe, but the locator isn't finding it. Let me check what the element discovery showed. Checkbox might be different from the bling. So maybe did I not tell it? I may not have told it to find it by relative element location. That could have been. So it's making updates to the version over here. So that's the one thing, is the update to the version of this could be problematic. Just keeping an eye out. In 30 minutes, I will be doing a live stream with a friend from Barcelona, not the planet, the city. If anyone's a Doctor Who fan, there you go. If you're not, well, you should check out. It's only been on the air for 60 years. So, and I'm not a fan of the Disney version. So, sorry. I don't know many friends of mine who are actually fans of the Disney reboot there. All right, so we're doing the okay. I am going to try and run it again, and we're going to give it a run. We're going to debug, see what it does. Hopefully, it picks up on that element. I mean, we do see it highlighting. It highlights in green, which is good. So the other thing that could be happening is that it's just not updating the stuff. Real quick test I could do on that is just see what's being output to the console log. The console log is spitting out all the locators that I have in there. That would go away once I get this solved and taken care of. But I do like that it's doing all this. And we are at the point where we are going to click on this. So it did some debugging, still could not find the element bling. All right, so here's the thing. We forgot to tell it. Now, definitely this is working correctly. It's not storing the code somewhere offline. I'm going to say find the checkbox element closest to the text. The check boxes never have the text inside. Let's see. Relative. We'll do that. So we're going to make this a relative location identifier. Relative. You're watching. I hope you're getting a joke out of watching Paulie misspell words. Okay, so we're going to go do that. And go back over to, here we are, over here. So it says, you're right, checkboxes don't contain text. The text label is using an adjacent element, blah, 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 like span, label, or TD. I need to find the checkbox that's near the text bling. Yes, that is exactly what you're supposed to do. You should have figured it out earlier. But hey, it is what it is. So I'm going to go stop the execution over here. And we are going to go and find this. So it's doing all of this and running through. What else can we talk about while we're waiting for that to continue? I don't know. I talked about a little bit about airline travel earlier on here. Any other tips or tricks I can think of for airline travel? There used to be one about grab the middle seat because nobody wants to sit next to you. So you might get actually a if you have 3 seats open, it's a likely shot that if you want all the seats to yourself, sit in the middle seat. It works out there. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I'll tell you a little story. Oh, wait, I think we're done here. I'll come back and tell you a story about my dad when I moved him to my home. Same parents for real, but now this shit will find the checkboxes. Okay, I believe you. I believe you, AI. You've never lied to me before. He's been a good AI for so long. I think we're getting a little bored of the music, so I'll change it to Alien Abduction. Loud. No. Very So I'm glad it uses different colors for these things. It's nice. I don't think it actually found the text. I think I should tell it to go, hey, go find the text in a different color. All right, so it found that. Now we are going to try and click on that bling over here. Show me you're going to find the bling. Found all. It did not work. You lied to me. You absolutely lied to me. Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. Add, let's see. Highlight all the text elements and count them with a blue highlight. So we've got red, we've got green. I think we'll do blue and do. I kind of like this music. I've had this music for a very long time, and a lot of my videos are there. I've lost my viewer after 45 minutes. Oh my god, I lost my one friend. Oh man, I'm so sad. Why? Because it's hard to sit around for 30 minutes and kind of see something work, but not see something work. That's not a good thing. Discovery section. Let me add it to the interactive elements loop. All right. Going to update the version. It's good. Fluidity. All right. Well, I thought I was playing to an audience of 1 or 2. We'll see what happens here. Okay, so summary should be this. And we'll do a little bit different music. I'm going to hit stop over here. And we're going to give it another run. Here we go. We're doing another run. Another debug run. Let's see what happens. Oh, we got one person watching me. So just a reminder, if you are watching live, you can chat with me. And I should be able to see it. Let's see. Comments? Are there any comments? There are no comments. No one's commenting. We're like, oh, I'm afraid to comment. Holy. Okay. So what are we doing here? It's not highlight. It broke the highlight. Oh, wait, there we go. This stuff that's the text in blue. All right, cool. Awesome. So we verified all that stuff is in blue. Cool. So a lot of extra stuff there. All right, so now we are going to BLNG. I wonder if it needs the. I wonder if it's an exact match. We'll talk about that. Let's see if I take a run. And it clicks on the all. All right. You click. That does not click the check box near BLING. It clicks all instead. Be sure to have a substring match to allow and click. All right, so I gave it all the clues as to what's going on. And we're going to see what it does. It does have the ability to actually look at stuff. Hey, I got a new viewer, and they ran away. They didn't have time to even look at it. Okay. We're going to stop this. And we're going to go and see if we can run it again. Take a second here. Let's see. Oh, I was going to do an airline study over here. Airline story. Thank you for whoever's watching on YouTube. Hang on, I'll tell you the airline story. Nope, you ran away. You're going to run away. You don't get the airline story. Maybe you get to hear my dogs fighting in the back. They're brother and sister. They are kind of goofy. Yep. Really crazy stuff going on here. We got about 20 minutes before we go live with a Cypress account. And one of my puppies wants to come up and say hello. So if you had stuck around, you would have seen my puppy. This is Rudy. Rudy, you want to come up here? Huh? You want to come up? Come here. Oh, you big heavy dog. Oh, you a big heavy dog. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at that puppy. Isn't that a cute puppy? Oh, yeah. I won't give you a story, but I'll definitely give you a cute puppy, especially since the AI is still doing its thing. Rudy, say hi. Rudy, say hi over here. Come on. I'm going to spin around. You can see my puppy. He's a good puppy. Yes. We got a puppy. He's a good puppy, and I'm still waiting for my AI to figure out what the heck I'm doing. Oh, yes. Yep. Not hurting you, my puppy. Hey, they're slipping off. Dude. Sitting here doing all this stuff, showing off everybody. My puppy. He's okay. He's called Rudy. He's Rudy the rude puppy because he's a very rude puppy. I don't want to tell you how rude he's been because I don't know. Probably I'd get demonetized or taken off the channel. I don't know. But it is a good puppy. So it's still thinking about what it's doing. I can't believe this. Compacting, all sorts of stuff. He's like, Dad, I want to go down. I'm tired of this. All right, you want to go down? Get out of here. Hey, don't step on my glasses. Don't step on the glasses. It looks like Polly stepped on his glasses. That's not, yeah, that was, take a look at this while we're waiting for this thing to do it. Look what I did to my glasses. I can't, oh no. I think I muggled them up good. Yeah, they are just absolutely messed up. The hinge. Oh my God. I've been sitting with these guys hanging here. I never actually checked to see if they were good. Okay, let's go check it out. It says it is done. Function is integrated into this thing, so we're going to try one more time. Let's go. Oh, yep, and go run this. Debug it. We'll let it see. Make sure that we are hitting the right spot. And if we have time, we might take a look at determining how long it takes to complete. So one of the completion things is there's an icon over here, which could tell us when it's done. All right, there we go. Again, with the highlights, make sure we can get everything. We got all the checkboxes, and we are going to go get the text as well. That's all in red because those are links, but then it also identifies those items as text. And there is the text values, all being taken care of there. And please tell me you hit bling. That's my most important thing. I gave it the whole thing, BLNG. Oh boy, they're at it again. This is very entertaining, I gotta tell you, especially when my dogs are fighting over there. It still hit all. It did not hit what we were supposed to look for. That is kind of interesting. How can we do this? It's saying all. That's not the right one. Not crazy about this, and also not crazy that it's doing all this highlighting when I'm trying to do this. And I only have 15 minutes left to try and solve this one more time. Let's see, what else can we do? If I use the locator, and I want to hit this. Okay, that's vestments is this. That's the locator. Actually, this is the one over here. And I'm trying to get this, get by text. Bling. Input. All right. Let's see. I'm going to tell it all is still being selected. Would it make a difference to let you know that the checkbox is always to the right of the text, not to the left? The left, as usual, as expected. Text. Checkbox to the right. It means looks like maybe picking up the wrong one. Let me update. So it's going to go and update. Take the find checkbox near text. Use the right of pseudo selector. Okay, sounds good. What are you doing? There, my dog is back. My dog is sitting here. He's about to go through some wires. Rudy, come this way, please. Please, don't do that. Yeah, go see your sister. Unless you want to hang out with me. I mean, I can close the door. They're fighting on their way out. Cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. And I've got 15 minutes before I do this. Now it's done all this stuff. So it's reading this and it's checking. And it's doing all sorts of cool stuff. And if this doesn't work, I'm just going to ask it, what else can I show you to fix this, to do this? So it's doing an update in the banner. I think it's the base page. Dude, the thing is in the base page. Await that click. And it is login inspect. And we're going to this click. Go to definition. We want to make sure that we're actually updating this click over here and this click action. So we're going to go search based on the page that's been passed into it. Let's see if it figures it out. It says, all right, it's going to do this now. All right, let's give it another shot. It's just a unique type of interface that we're working with. And we're going to try it one more time. And if this doesn't work, then what am I going to do? I'm going to ask it. Say, hey, dude, why don't you just tell me what you want to do? It's an old Seinfeld reference. So there we go, doing our little green things, our red things, and then we're going to do our blue things. There's a lot of them. Did the highlights, the inputs, so that all worked. Just need to see if we can get that bling. And we should get the previous page. I think it's going to hit. All right, here we go. We're going for the bling. Let's see if we can get it. We got it. That was it. We got it. And again, interestingly, work fits the time allotted to it. I had intended to do this in about an hour, and I did it within an hour. So I'm very happy about this. I'm going to go commit this code and start with something new. So I hope you enjoyed this little lesson over here on how to find these things. I will also go over to the click, just go to the reference and show you what is been added. We'll go to full screen and we'll go to the click action, go to definition of click action. And what we want to definitely look at is we want to, oh boy, there's a couple of these things. We want to find checkbox. And we had 51 of them. 51 references, checkbox locators, okay? And near text, about to the right? To the right? Like anything? To the left? Nothing? All right. Guess we'll come back to our next run. Well, let's see. Let's go look for checkbox one more time. Checkbox. And there are 51, so I'm going to go to the 51st one. Matched iframe checkbox near this, near text. And checkbox near text. Let's go to the definition of this one. We don't need that. So we will go back. All right. So this is all the checkbox code that was added. If not found on the main page, search inside all the iframes. And this is where it was. Let's go take a look at our output for our runs. And let me see if I can find that. We're going to go. That's because we're not over there. All right. We're going to go and stop this right here. And the last thing we're going to do is take a look at the run. I don't know what I did with the run. I'm going to go run the debug again. There's our debug. One more shot. And we're going to see what exactly it does. There's our login. And there's our 3 elements. We're going to go and do all the highlights. That's finding in the body. And we're running about 2 minutes over, but that's okay. We hit it right on the hour. And for all of those who stopped in, said hi, looking at seeing what's going on, I hope you appreciated this. Here's our kind of cool highlights and everything. And this I can now get rid of because I don't really need it anymore. I just want to know how it was able to find that bling. So we'll hit the continue. And it said looking for bling. It said found 1 frame with bling, 0 in blings, trying near. Found 0 to the right of. And checkbox to the left. And somehow it picked up the bling colon. Interesting. Using checkbox to the right of bling colon. Found bling using this. So it actually went and found an element that is a lower, was a substring match. It found this using that, and it's on its way. All right, everybody, that is it for me, the Dark Arts Wizard, and I hope you enjoyed this. Come back in about 8 minutes. We're going to do the Candy Mapper Challenge with Cypress. Cheers.